Hello, hello.
Hello there.
We are back with our parking lot movie review.
Yes, we just watched
Frankenstein. Yes, directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, based on Mary Shelley's novel.
Yes,
Yeah.
Netflix film.
Yeah, thankfully we got to see it in theater.
Absolutely,
Super stoked on that. Big
absolutely.
screen. Best way to see this movie.
Yes,
Best way.
that's a great point right off the bat.
Yeah.
Beautiful sets, beautiful costumes, beautiful score.
Yeah.
You know.
The score's definitely that's been like a big player in a lot of movies lately. I mean, as it should be.
A year of the score.
For the score to be like a character in itself, it drives it correctly.
Yes.
Movie starts very strong. Another just fantastic reason to see it on the big screen. It just makes a bigger impact than I feel it would have were we to have watched this at home. Like we
1,000%.
Would have enjoyed it, but
yeah, it lends itself completely to the movie theater experience. So hopefully you do get a chance to see it in theaters. If not at home, and as cozy as possible, and your attention on the detail, because it really is the universe he creates in this film is just absolutely stunning and beautiful.
Yeah, from what I've understood, it's the closest representation that anybody has gotten to the Frankenstein story. And
that makes a lot of sense.
It did read very literary, and I really enjoyed that.
Yes, literary, also play-like, very theater-esque. Just absolutely beautiful film.
Yeah, performances.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
he's a big part. The first half of the film is very much focused on Frankenstein, his story, his beginning, his drive to madness.
Yeah.
So Oscar Isaac definitely portrayed that very well.
Yeah, it was the character that I think a lot of times, especially myself, I would say, when you think of Frankenstein, you think it's the monster, that's Frankenstein. That's what you always associate. But this movie makes sure the very clear distinction between the two of them.
Yes.
And that's another reason why I felt like it read very literary, in the sense that it coursed everything out, and they did put a lot of emphasis on the name, the character, who he was, and why he had the drive he did.
Yeah, I think it's a good to separate the film into halves, first half and second half, because first half, like we stated, Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein, it was a lot focused on him. It was really focused on the sets and his laboratory,
very much so,
and also how that all came together. Those scenes were phenomenal when they were getting all of the resources to make Frankenstein. I mean, to make Frankenstein's monster. I like that.
On understanding anatomy, there was a very scientific take in this film as well, where they talk about different systems of the body, and it's just it's all very practical understandings of stuff too, which it's fascinating to think that those were a work of science fiction in a sense at an older time in 1818, when this book came out. The way that they're writing is the way that Mary Shelley wrote is the way that we kind of understand things now, which is pretty fascinating.
I like thinking of that. And of course, while he's making Frankenstein's monster, all of the props that are in the film, like you said, kind of the anatomy aspect of that, the attention to detail was incredible.
Yeah, very much so. The understanding between different characters' drives and why things went the direction that they did as well. There are other characters that come into play that I was unaware of. You kind of, if you're, like me, like us, and you've seen previous iterations of Frankenstein, you understand that there are different characters that were introduced probably through tropes of Hollywood, whereas this gives you a more definitive understanding of everyone's position and drive,
and why Frankenstein had this ambition to create this monster, and I think it did a really good job of setting that up in the first half, showing his relationship with his mother and his father, and then later on with his brother. It really showed the the kind of the reason behind it, you know, and also the ego drive, and So I liked getting that understanding as well in the first half.
Yeah. So now, speaking to the second half, it's, you know, we talked a lot about how like the sets are beautiful, like, you know, the setup, you know, visually it was there. The setup. But the second half, it is so much more emotionally and story driven.
So it is. It's. I don't know how long the film was. I didn't look at my phone or anything like that. But I mean, it takes quite some time to set up. It after telling Frankenstein's story, it goes into the monster's tale.
Yeah.
And the monster's tale is, like you said, emotional. You know, you're gonna be there's gonna be some tears shed. You know, I definitely had that emotion. Jacob Elordi's performance as the monster was just phenomenal, and that's really like just the way he portrayed that tragic.
Yeah, there's no way he doesn't get a nomination.
Absolutely,
no way he doesn't get a nomination for it.
Yeah. The way he looked, the emotion in his facial expressions, his voice, everything's so incredibly memorable and intentional.
Yeah.
And the way he moved at times reminded me of an actor in theater or even ballet. There's this part where he's chained up. And it's like he's moving for the first time, and it just reminded me of like dance. It just, the way Guillermo del Toro portrays the monster is just so delicate and beautiful.
Yeah. It kind of drew me back to like the beginning, because that's a lot in the beginning, whereas like the second half, the monster becomes human, but then also has its own drive, and the drive it's tragic. It's tragedy paved in rage, and I mean, like, there's got to be a more eloquent way to say like violence, but it's not violent for like a grotesque or a gratuitous way. It's like driven by an intense passion.
And understanding of who he is. And you get to see that in the second half. Him slowly coming into himself, understanding who he is through human interaction. And that was one of my favorite parts, was when he comes to that understanding through another character. You know, don't want to spoil it too much, but it was incredibly beautiful.
Definitely beautiful and poignant, but then it also comes back around to where it's just like
the tragedy.
Their tragedies will still follow based around how people understand situations and how they measure what it is that they're seeing in front of them by utilizing action over logic and understanding.
It's still relevant today.
It's literally like, I mean, as silly as it may sound, it like translated at times to me that like men will do anything aside from go to therapy. Like, and like that may sound
literally
jokey,
even
but literally,
create a
like,
monster. And then absolutely abandon the creation. And then
it all stemmed from like the relationship with the father and how the father treated others and building resent. And it's kind of like,
and also his mother's death. It was it was incredible.
Honestly.
Great film. Watch it in the theaters if you can.
Like this video is gonna go up, and like as soon as you watch it, please, like, you know, buy a ticket, get out there and go watch it on the biggest screen possible. It's really fantastic that we had this chance. Guillermo del Toro does it again.
Yes. I literally, we were just like snaps, you know, clapping internally, you know, in the end, because it was one of those, like, Guillermo del Toro creates this beautiful, tragic universe, even though it is based on, you know, the book, Mary Shelley's book, but the way he portrays it, the way that he is able to elaborate that on screen and put that on screen is just phenomenal. It was such a reminiscent of Shape of Water, what he was able to do, Pan's Labyrinth, even all of that. Like it is up there with one of his great films.
Absolutely. Speaking of Pan's Labyrinth, at times I felt myself feeling as though this was directed out, written out, and portrayed as a fairy tale.
Yes, dark fairy tale.
Yeah, dark fairy tale, but it like teeters on fairy tale / cautionary tale, and that's when I speak of that. It's literally about like people understanding inherited trauma.
Yeah, and I think in the beginning that was my first reaction. I was like, "Oh wow, this is such a like dark fairy tale portrayal, of this story." But then the second half with the monster's tale was just like, "Oh, here's where the tragedy comes in, and the emotion, and yeah, it was great."
Also very romantic in a sense of the romanticization of
Mia Goth, her character.
Yeah, understanding who you could be and then actually chasing that. There's a big lesson in forgiveness. There's a big lesson. There's a lot of like lessons that I just didn't understand that Frankenstein as on a whole is like an allegory for.
Yes.
It's just like, wow.
100% agree.
Wow. And just the visualization that Guillermo del Toro allows like translates.
And the vulnerability in all of the characters. In Elizabeth, in Victor Frankenstein, in the monster. Like, yeah. He's able. This is what he does best.
Yeah,
is with the sets, with the characters, with the vulnerability, the gentleness, the emotion. Yeah, it was all there, and even violence, like you said.
But I would say it even translates as far back to like his father. They really do show everyone that you pointed out vulnerability. They really do. He did a good job of like highlighting everyone's point in which they realized they were vulnerable.
Yes.
Like it's like everyone is so hard up until they come up against the hardest thing ever. And then it's just like, I need to come to terms with admitting that I can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Beautiful story.
Beautiful
movie.
All right, we're ready for our glizzy rating.
Glizzy rating.
Out of 5, we're going to rate it on 3.
Okay.
Ready?
1,
2, 3, 4. Yes.
Go see this
Such
movie.
a solid 4 out of 5. Yeah, beautiful film.
Yeah.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, thanks.